Dulo, Fatuma Dulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me join my colleagues in congratulating you for having come up with this legislation. It's long overdue, and I hope it's going to cure the challenges that we have in our counties. Mr. Speaker, I like the proposals that you have made in this particular legislation, and more specifically on the way that the board should be constituted, and again also as far as the clerk being the administrator of the fund. But in that particular one, I'll have to give a rider to proposal made by Senator Khalwale, in that we normally see that there is a lot of a fight between the clerk and the members and also the speaker as far as budget utilization is concerned. And if those powers are going, Mr. Speaker, to be given to the clerk, then members of assembly are going to be irrelevant. And your proposal is to empower the members of county assembly. And I believe the proposal made by Senator Khalwale is valid. Wherever there is administrator or utilization or removal of the budget for any purpose, Mr. Speaker, I will propose in consultation with the board. That is the only way the clerk should be able to use the money. And in that way, the clerk will be accountable to the assembly, Mr. Speaker. Because in practice, the clerk is the employee of the assembly. And the speaker the same way. But looking at the salary given to the speaker and the salary given to the clerk, Mr. Speaker, is nothing comparable to salary given to the county assembly members. If I can give an example of my county, you can imagine a speaker earning 500,000 Kenya shillings, the clerk earning 400,000, and county assembly members earning 200 plus. These are employees of the county assembly members, and yet they are earning more than them. Mr. Speaker, I will propose also, as a house, we must do something about the salary of the county assembly, because you cannot oversight or employ somebody who is earning more than you. He will never respect you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, chief officers, CECs, they are all earning more than the county assembly members. Mr. Speaker, that is ridiculous. We must do something about the salary of the county assembly members. Mr. Speaker, the other proposal that I wanted to make is where you actually indicated utilization of the budget for emergency purposes. Mr. Speaker, we have to be specific. What are those emergencies? Because if you don't do that, county governments are already misusing the budget allocated to them under emergency. And in this particular case, if we are not very careful, there could be duplication of the same fund for the same activities. So it has to be specific on what they should spend on as far as budget is allocation. Mr. Speaker, county assemblies are living in a very deplorable situation. Mr. Speaker, if I may speak of my county, Isiolo, last week, some county assembly members came out and condemned on certain payrolls, Mr. Speaker. Can you imagine the governor colluding with the speaker and the rest of the members to remove them from all the committees of the House, to suspend them for 6 months, one particular member, from the House? Mr. Speaker, it's ridiculous, it's unacceptable, and there is no way, Mr. Speaker, these members can be able to oversight if they are actually running after governors to give them support. Mr. Speaker, these guys are on the ground, and they are the ones who are actually facing the challenges on the ground where members of public are turning to them for school fees, for medical, for many other things. And yet, they are beggars running after the governors whom they should actually oversight. Mr. Speaker, to some extent, the budget currently allocated to them, the governors and the speakers collude and actually steal the money from county assembly. And this particular bill will solve that problem if it is going to be assented to. Mr. Speaker, I will urge the county assembly members, really, if this is what you wanted, and I know my county assembly members, they have been crying for this. If this is really going to be a solution to your problem, and the problem of Kenyans, where they are actually, as Senator Khalwale says, in a public baraza, the best they can do is to say that the governor is doing the best, even when they are doing zero on the ground. Mr. Speaker, they have really embarrassed us. They have embarrassed members of public. When they are supposed to carry out their oversight, the best they can do is, oh, Senator is doing our work, while this is our work. Which work are they doing, apart from clapping for the Senate, for the governors, and begging them and pressing them? Mr. Speaker, I pray and actually urge county assembly members, if this is a solution to their problem today, and you have come with a solution which is something that is actually gracious in this country, Mr. Speaker, let it be. Let it solve the problem of embezzlement of funds in our counties. Like today in Public Accounts Committee, Mr. Speaker, and I think this matter should come to the House also. There's a trend that has been developed by the governors. They are refusing to appear before all the committees of the House. And I'm telling you, one after the other, they are taking the cue. Mr. Speaker, we are becoming irrelevant. They are disrespectful. I remember I was being told the day before yesterday that one governor, and I'll be specific to the governor of Isiolo, when he was told that your CECs are not gender balanced, he said, yes, they are not gender balanced. What is going to be done to me if I didn't actually balance the gender in my CEC? That is the extent where people are becoming, actually, they don't care about the law in this country. Mr. Speaker, this House must wake up. We must have a solution to the challenges we face in our counties. They are actually disregarding the laws provided in this country. And I think the law is there actually to regulate. But if somebody says, I don't care what the law says, I will do what I want, then I think, as I've said earlier on record, that this House is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned, and that is what the governors believe. I hope we are going to get a solution to this problem. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.